Hello everyone. In today's video, I'm going to talk about how do I constantly upgrade myself to reach success at every part of my career. Let's get started. So this is 15 years of my career journey that most of you know I have been working. And at every point of time, I've always looked at how do I upgrade myself. Now, when we think about upgrading, we think about obvious things like going and attending a college and learning. But let me tell you that there are very simple everyday learning that I have done, which has helped me achieve professional and personal success. So, the first thing I want to share with all of you is learning from friends. This was about 8 years ago when I traveled for work to Switzerland. And on the way to Switzerland, one of my best friend, Shiv, stays and works out of London. He works for one of the multinational companies. And when I met him, he told me that he was quite busy getting certified to be an interviewer. And I was a bit surprised. I said, "You are already a senior leader in your organization. Why do you need to get certified for interviewing?" And he mentioned that in his organization, even if you're a junior or a senior person, the moment you're entitled to interview people, you have to get certified and trained. And he then spoke to me about how he got trained for competency based interview technique. How does it work? What are the modalities? And a whole lot of information about that particular training that he underwent and how he got certified to be a professional interviewer. I was fascinated. I took all that information, came back to Schindler, discussed with my HR teams, and we implemented the same, which then later on became a huge success and a best practice across the organization, not only in the location I was in, but in various other countries of Schindler as well. It was adopted. This is a simple way of me just interacting with a friend, not just to have fun. We did, of course, have a lot of fun together when we met after many years, but I also looked at learning something from him. Similarly, when I interact with people, I not just have a chit chat with them. I always try to find out what are they doing different, what are they learning in their organization, what are they implementing in their organization. Remember, copying is not a wrong thing if you're learning the right things and implementing it. It's the most quickest way you can learn and upgrade yourself. So when you're interacting with people, always try and ask them. They will have nuggets of gold and nuggets of knowledge that you can implement in your work and professional life as well. That's the first example I wanted to share was learning from friends, from peers, from your networks. When you interact, how do you get knowledge, gain knowledge, and implement it in your real life? The implementation part is the most important thing that many people miss out. We just chit chat, but we don't implement the learnings. We take it, but we don't implement. The second part is reading books. When I was 26 years, 27 years, I had just joined Schindler. And again, I was interacting with one of the managers of the organization who spoke about reading. Till then, I was not a voracious reader. So my second learning started from books. The first management book that gave me an interest into management was a book from Jack Welch, who used to be the CEO of General Electric in the past. That book, my friend gifted me. I read the book. I was fascinated with the whole idea of running a business, managing people, and that's how I got interested in management. Again, when I read that book, I took down a lot of notes and I came back and implemented all those things. The second book that also influenced me in a similar way was The Trillion Dollar Coach, which I have written about and mentioned in one of my videos before as well. Trillion Dollar Coach had a biggest impact for me as a leader, and that book I took down takeaways from every page and I implemented them in my real life. Again, it's not just about reading a book, but it's really about putting it into practice, which is the second knowledge that I want to share with all of you. Again, remember, it's not about meeting your friends or reading a book. It's how do you take those learnings and implement it in your real life. Same thing happened also when I started my first management role. I was so nervous about succeeding. Prior to that, I had never managed people. I had never sold elevators or done sales or managed profit and loss. Again, I read a couple of books on how to start a new management role, the first 90 days and the first 100 days book. Using that learnings, interacting with a lot of people who had done this role well, I prepared a first 100-day plan. And I have made a video on that as well. Please do check out my YouTube channel for how to start your new role successfully. Using that first 100-day plans, I implemented the plan very successfully. Till date, the first 100-day plan that I developed is used widely amongst all my friends and colleagues within the organization and outside as well. So these are, again, how I used knowledge, upskilled myself, and implemented them in my real life. The third one is mentoring. I have always kept lots of mentors in my life, and I still continue keeping my mentors. The first example that comes to my mind is when I was studying, when I was studying in my master degree, one of our visiting professors was also working in PeopleSoft, which is an SAP company. He used to teach us a lot of things, and I used to bug him to give me time outside class hours to share with me more knowledge and information. He was one of my earliest mentors. I learned from him a whole lot of things about how do you transform from a college life to corporate life, a lot of soft skills. He also helped me get my first internship, which helped me a lot to prepare myself for the future. After that, I was very fortunate to get wonderful mentors in the organization, but even outside the organization. When I was in Vietnam, I interacted with a lot of other company CEOs. I took them as my mentor. I used to invite them to Schindler to talk to my employees, learned from their best practices, and again implemented them in my life. So the third learning was from mentors. These are the top three self learning that I did. I never expected my organization to send me to courses, to put me in training programs, and push me to train myself. I always upskilled myself, never depend on anyone. These three are simple yet very powerful because I implemented each one of those learnings. Have you been learning from any different sources? Do share on the comments, and I would love to hear your feedback if this video was useful for you. Thank you so much for listening to me. Till I see you in the next video, stay fit, stay positive, keep chasing obscene success. Thank you.